Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host, Corey Baumeister. As always, brought to you by the lovely folks over at StarCityGames.com. All right, so we are jumping into the Wild West of Historic here, a format that is very much wide open. And for the people that don't know what Historic is just basically a format that was created for Arena specifically to just include every single card that has been printed on MTG Arena. So if we look, it is every single set here, Ixalan, all the way up to Theros Beyond Death. So that means we can play Dinos again, a deck that I loved. One SCG Richmond with, alongside Pete Ingram and Shaheen Sirani. We got some upgrades here. We get to add some Ember Cleaves. We get to add an Agonizing Remorse. And some other sweet tools here. Rampaging Ferocity, which was actually banned at the time. So we get some strict upgrades for the deck. And let me tell you, these games do not disappoint. So if you want to fast forward to any of the games, feel free. As well as to the deck tech. I give spoilers in the deck tech, so if you don't want to know the results of the game, don't flash to that until the very end. But then the deck tech, we talked about what changes I would make moving forward, as well as why I chose these specific cards. All right, we'll see you in round one. Enjoy. All right, and welcome to round one here with Jund Dinos here in Historic. One of my favorite decks of all times. One of my favorite decks historically. No, too bad. Okay, so we're going to keep this. We're on the draw. Very important to have either Odetect Huntmaster, Marauding Raptor, or Drover of the Mighty when it comes to Dinos. You just really need one of these 2-drops to be able to find it. Now, if you do have like a commune that's different, that can find you at least Marauding Raptor, but you really want to have a way to play one of these effects. Now let's just go like this. Get this into play. Now, we can turbo out this Galta as soon as, like, turn 4. Okay. Huntmaster. Alright, Growth Spiral. Such an unfair magic card. It's just so good. It's just so very good. Okay, Uro is great. I mean, we're going to be attacking for a lot now. Okay. See if they have a land. Looks like they do. Alright, so it looks like a Bant deck. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Ah, dang it. This forest is going to mess us up a bit. Well, okay, how about this? We can go like this. And then just play Ripjaw Raptor. Dinosaur. Draw a card. And then just Galta next turn. Yeah, we were one short from Galting. Then we'll just give this haste. And next turn, next turn we might just win? I mean, hasty Galta here is quite nice. It's sad that we'll put a Rotting Regisaur into play and not want to attack with it. Oh, our opponent is so dead. Our opponent is so very dead. Okay, let's see what they can do. This could definitely be some kind of Field of the Dead shenanigans as well. Next turn we'd be attacking for 6, 10, plus 12. And we're attacking for 22 next turn. No, we can actually make an attack for 24. So, okay. I think we go with Rotting Regisaur to start. Maybe there's a chance that we don't want to just extend our whole battlefield. Let's wait on the other Rotting Regisaur. Let's go with Galta. Haste the Galta. So this is 18, this is 20. Now, if they have Gust or something, they're gonna get us regardless. I mean, we maybe should just play this and just go all in. But if they have Gust into Wrath, then we're kind of wrecked. So I don't think there's actually a point. All right, go for lethal. That sucks. That sucks. Root Snare. Well, let's hope they don't have the Wrath now. So is this Simic Nexus then, I would imagine? Well, now I don't feel great about this game. Before I felt like we couldn't lose, thinking this is just like some kind of Simic ramp deck, but let's see how many cards they got. 5. They're still 1 away from casting Uro. Not that Uro would save them here. Uh-oh. Oh, they're dead. They're dead. Oh, I think their auto tapper got them because they didn't tap 2 blue. Yeah, I mean, they were just going to look for a Root Snare anyways. All right, so Agonizing Remorse is something we're definitely going to want. We don't have a ton for them unless we want to, like, bring in Noxious Grasp. Our Dovin's Ambush seems... Or Domri's Ambush seems pretty bad. Our Domri is not great. Ferostodon doesn't seem great either. I think Grass seems pretty good just to deal with Uro. It seems like one of the problems. I mean, we don't have a ton of hand disruption here, so that could be a problem for us. It's also some consideration to shifting Ceratops, but I don't think that's good enough. Let's keep in Ferostodon for Uro. So what don't we want? Maybe we just don't want Noxious Grasp and just say, hey, we can beat the Uro plan. It's the Fog plan that's no good. And all we want to do is just make sure we're as proactive as possible just to make them have the Fog every turn. So I think we'll just do this. If it looks like they have some Nissas, or if it looks like Uro is actually going to be a problem, then I think we can bring in Noxious Grasp, but I just don't think that's fast enough, you know? We could just keep in 1 Domri because that it's a decent creature anyways. All right, we'll do one Domri and take out 1 Ripjaw as a little way to hedge against Uro as well as stop some counter magic. I don't think the card is going to be great, but I don't really want to just have a Noxious Grasp just to deal with 1 creature. I have to assume they're a Wilderness Reclamation deck. Yeah, this sounds fine. I mean, the Huntmaster into anything, basically. Huntmaster is the most important one. Marauding Raptor is close because that card is absolutely busted as well, but I think Huntmaster is actually the better one. All right, so we'll start with the Cemetery. All right. Throw Spiral. Now, if they go like Wilderness Reclamation next turn, I'll feel not that, not too thrilled. Kept on top. Okay, so now we have the choice between Huntmaster and Raptor. There's always one clear path that you should take out there. It's always play the Huntmaster first because the Marauding Raptor just eats the Huntmaster. So you always want to start with this. And then next turn we can just kind of go off here. Well, I mean, I guess our only play would be Raptor into Rotting Regisaur, but that's still a great play. Attack for 7 on turn 3. Don't mind if I do. All right. 4 mana. They've set their turn up quite nicely. Tameo. Well, we're going to try to kill that. I would definitely assume this is Nexus now. Root Snare, already going for Fogs. Yeah, Teamer, or Banta Nexus. So, let's go with Marauding Raptor. Rotting. Haste. Kill Tameo. So go. I guess we can play Drover, huh? And it doesn't die. Yeah, why not? Let's jam. Force him to have the Wrath. It's just so much power. I mean, are we just presenting lethal again next turn? I think so. Our deck is just far too fast. It doesn't give any setup time for, you know, decks that are trying to be a little bit slower, like this Bant Nexus deck was trying to do. So, all right, that's round one going to us in pretty convincing fashion. Let's see if we continue it here in round two with Jund Dinos and Historic. See you there? All right, round two here with Jund Dinos. We're on the draw, but once again, we have a great hand here. Marauding Raptor or Drover. You know, these are the important cards to have in our opener, as well as a giant creature. So this is a snap keep for me. Our opponent is still on 7. Let's see what they are playing. All right. Temple of Epiphany. Okay, we'll just start with a Stomping Ground, say go. Still think we're just going to lead with Marauding Raptor. It's just the better creature. Ooh, what is this, a Kethis deck? Alright, go with Marauding Raptor. Say go. Could definitely be Kethis, could be something else. I would assume combo. Diligent Excavator is definitely a combo card. Alright. Fibble Fizzle. Okay. Alright, so we got a Breach strategy. So we probably do want to Domri's Ambush this thing. Just get it out of there while we can. I mean, it seems fine to me. And then we can still play Drover. I mean, this card is important, so I think we should do that. Now, they can get us here. I think we better do this first. Can they have? Yeah, we're gonna try it. Alright. This does not get pumped if it's not a dino being dealt damage, so we might as well attack first. Okay, then we'll go Drover, and then we can play our last 2 creatures next turn. Alright. Good start. I think getting that card out of there, the Excavator, is pretty important. All right. Say, okay, fine. They can stay. All right, that's a great draw. That is a great draw. Is that what we should just play? This deals 2 damage to the token and stuff, so they can just trade with Fibblethip, which I'm not in love with. But I think getting this down so we can deal some haste damage seems good. We can't play these as well. All right, so let's just go Dinosaur. All right, put the 3/3 in. Yeah, I don't think I want to trade this for Fibblethip. So we're just going to attack with these. And then try to essentially win next turn, but honestly, they could win next turn with some Breach shenanigans. Okay. Maybe I should have still attacked with the Dino, because that Fibblethip block on a 7/4 is pretty appealing. Maybe we missed out on 3 damage, but... Alright, Jace. I think we're just going to ignore that and just go face. So we got a lot of damage coming in next turn. Just with both of these dinos. God forbid we top deck a Galter or something. Wow. Okay. Well, I think it's better to play Rotting Regisaur and Regisaur Alpha this turn. So let's do that. Math is going to be for blockers on this one. We're going to attack with everything. Alright, so, yeah. Dinos, dinos, dinos. Alright, so Agonizing Remorse. Maybe we should have more of that card. This card does seem good in against these kind of controlling decks or combo. We are pretty set up for aggro and then like mono blue if they play any permission, but this is definitely just a combo deck, so we don't necessarily want to do that, but we do have to kill Excavator. So I think with that being the plan, everything that kills Excavator, I'm just going to bring in. Ferostodon could be good, but a lot of creatures aren't coming into play necessarily, and I don't think they're going to be gaining life, so actually I don't think it's great. We want to keep all our top end over-the-top effects like Galta and Embercleave in. Ripjaw Raptor is, I think, the next on the chopping block here. We only need one cut, so I think it's going to be that. It's nice to draw cards and all, but it is not the hardest hitting dino. So I think we'll take one of those out. We'll leave in the rest so we can make sure to, like I said, deal with Diligent Excavator. Remorse to try to break up the Breach combo side of things, and then just try to be a faster deck. Yeah, I mean, I think we should have a good matchup here. Historic is pretty wide open. There's so many... I mean, I did a little bit of practicing and stuff for this, and I just played against so much random stuff. Okay. Well, we have our 2-drops. We have a little bit of interaction as well. This is a keeper to me. Fabled Passage we'll have to sack right away on turn 1. All right, definitely going to want a Forest. We'll say go. Get a Forest. We're going to start with that Huntmaster, more than likely. We could try to get Agonizing Remorse them, but I just think it's so much more important to just get aggressive here. Alright. Huntmaster and say go. And did they keep a one-lander? One-lander with Witching Well seems... Alright, well, they're going off. Alright, Mox can't add mana yet. So we could go Marauding Raptor, and then Ripjaw, similar to what we did last game. Or we could try to Agonizing Remorse their hand. I mean, if they go Breach, like, do we lose? If they go Breach and Mox, we might lose. I think I'd still just rather get aggressive here. I don't really think they could win next turn. I mean, it's definitely possible, but I think it's better to get a little bit aggressive. And then next turn we can really just kind of play everything. Alright, we'll give this haste. Yeah, next turn we can just go Rotting Regisaur, and Agonizing Remorse. I mean, that turn is just going to be disgusting. We can only attack with one of the Regisaurs, but, I mean, putting 14 power into play and being able to disrupt your opponent on turn 4. Dinos is the truth. Saheeli. Okay. Could put a copy of Mox Amber into play and then mill that Amber. Or no, never mind. That's not how it works. It's turning a servo into it. So, oh wow. Okay. We might be dead. I feel like they would need red mana still. Okay. Double thump. I would still think they need red mana for us to actually lose, but it's definitely scary. All right. So our play is going to be quite scripted this turn. We're just going to drop the Regisaurs and then Remorse post-combat. Maybe we Remorse first to see if we want to attack Saheeli. I don't think we do. I think just Face is the place here. Upstairs. 13, 17, just lethal damage coming in on turn 4. No big deal. They have to chump in some regards. And then we're going to be completely handless and we'll have to win with what we have on the board. But honestly, we have enough power here. Okay. Only wanting to take 4. No blocks, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. And let's remorse them. Alright, so they just have 2 excavators. We can check their graveyard. Hitting one of the moxes doesn't really matter. Guess we just take one of the creatures. Alright, let's hope they don't top deck Breach. They win with Breach. Almost assuredly. Oh, a 2-mana enchantment. That luckily is not the right one. Okay, I mean, they probably have enough blockers to live? Yeah, almost assuredly. So they're going to have another draw at Breach here. Unless we top deck like Galt or Embercleave, they're just giving up. I think they could have lived a turn. I think they would have had to sack their excavator though, so to be fair, it was going to be pretty tough for him to win. All right, quick 2-0 with Dinos. I think this deck is insanely powerful. Let's see if we can get that 3-0 trophy. We'll see you next round. All right, and welcome to our third and final round here with Jun Dinos. All right, we are on the draw. We have the Marauding Raptor. Our mana base is a little wonky here because we do have 2 spells that actually need 2 color symbols in the form of Domri, Anarchabolus, and Embercleave. So we are pretty far away from casting both of those. I still think I'm going to keep being on the draw. We got a couple of draws at them, and then if we can go Marauding Raptor on 2, this on 4, and, you know, Embercleave on 5, that'd probably be a turn 5 kill if we can get it going. That's not a great draw. So we'll go with Dinos. Oh, do we got a Dino Mirror? Definitely could be. Okay. We're going to go with Dino again. Marauding Raptor. Hope they don't have the removal spell for it. Whenever they kill your 2-drop when you're playing Jun Dinos, you just feel so bad. Uh-oh. Okay. Can't crush the bones of a Marauding Raptor. All right, what do we got? Just Gruul beatdowns here. Kind of the same kind of deck. I think Dinos would go over the top of them a little bit. But we'll see. 4-4. At least something we can play. I'm going to play Ferostodon. So I don't think we can attack with this. It's pretty risky. So Galt is still going to be expensive, but if we draw a land here, we can at least cast Regisaur Alpha if this lives. So we're just going to say go. Take a beating from Gruul Spellbreaker if they decide to do so. This hand is not developing too great right now. But if we can get an actual land here. Oh, no. All right, now we're probably toast. Guess we should have attacked. Ouch. Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, we kept a risky hand, and we are getting max punished. So we're just going to say go. We'd like to block Pelt Collector if given the opportunity. This one's not great. Yeah, Unclaimed Territory is one of our best lands, but it's also one of the worst at times. All right, we got to just take this, and I think we're probably just dead. All right, game 2. That was not a very close one. We still would have not cast a spell, even if we had our Marauding Raptor still in play. So, Noxious Grasp, Savage Stomp. I like these. I don't like any of these cards. So, Rampaging Feroctodon is pretty weak. That'll be my initial cut. And then I think it's either Domri or one of the Embercleaves. I think one of the Embercleaves is fine here. Just because I would rather fight some creatures, and we're taking out some creatures. Plus, Gruul actually kills creatures quite well. So I think it's best to just trim on one of the Cleaves. And we'll submit like this. All right, well, we lost our first game with Jund Dinos. Let's just make sure we don't lose our first match with Jund Dinos here on Droppin Bombs. I would love to play first. That's not a better opener. Let's mulligan that one. Okay, this sounds good. I'm gonna keep... What do we want to bottom here? I want to commune. I want 2 lands, commune, Huntmaster for sure. So I think it's either Domri or the 3rd land. I just think it's Domri. Domri could just go so badly for us. If they're just able to attack it quickly, you know, then it's not very good. Okay. I will commune. Something to bridge this gap here. I think Marauding Raptor does exactly that. We'll take that. Pelt Collector. Okay. Let's go with Dino. Drop Huntmaster and say go. Hopefully they don't have the Domri's Ambush. Not really going to be able to play anything next turn anyways, though. Besides just Marauding Raptor, but we'll be able to do that anyways, so it's not the biggest deal. But this does just get stomped by Bone Crusher, which is a little unfortunate. I still think it's the play. Okay. So now we're going to need a top deck of land. I've always said Jund Dinos is like the best deck ever unless you can just consistently kill the 2-drop, and then it's just terrible. This deck's killing our 2-drops, which I don't love. But if they don't kill this and we draw a land... Oh, God. Now we're in a lot of trouble. Okay. Now we need a land again, and for this to live, same situation. Okay, it's at least gonna live. Land. Yes! Okay. Now we're cooking. Okay, we could attack for 6. They're kind of priced into block here. But do we want that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We wouldn't be able to cast anything, so we're still going to go with no attacks. We may be able to block here with Regisaur Alpha. Our Marauding Raptor is just that important. I mean, just Galta next turn I think is absolutely insane. Okay. Okay. Alright, is it just Galta or just another Rotting Regisaur? I mean, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, they literally can't kill Galta. So let's go with that. Alright, let's attack for 16. We don't care if we lose Regisaur Alpha that much. Well, I guess they can take down Galta if they wanted to. They could have traded their whole board for Galta. Alright, then we'll say go. I mean, I don't think Embercleave is going to be enough. So this should be our game. Galta Primal Hunger is just so very insane in any creature matchup. All right, 14, Embercleave's 10. So they do have lethal if they have cleave, but obviously we would block. Okay, so they're just trying to get us with the cleave. So we just have to make sure and not fully take the bait. So what if we even just block like this? I mean, all we have to do is Embercleave lives. All right, we're gonna just block like this, because if they cleave this, what about cleave plus Rimrock Knight? 5, 6, 7, 14. Oh, 6, 8, 12. That plus Rimrock Knight is actually lethal. So I think to be safe, we're gonna double block. Because if they have Embercleave and Rimrock Knight, we would still lose with our first block. So, yeah. Galta's just going to win on the crackback as long as... God, if they had Rimrock Knight as well and we just lived because of this, this would be so awesome. I would assume they're dead. Okay. Galta! 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 Alright. Alright. On the draw, I think this is going to be a very play-dependent matchup, though, which is frightening. We are on the draw for this last one. I don't see much changes we really want to make. It's unfortunate that our removal is based on our creatures living, with Domri's Ambush, Savage Stomp. I'm going to take out Domri on the draw, actually. Maybe I want Raptor? Yeah, Raptor seems okay. I only want a 1-of there. Could go down on Embercleave as well. All right, let's go to 1 Embercleave and bring in the other Hatchling. Just on the draw, being able to block and then get a 3/3 out of it for 2 mana is pretty good. And if you have Marauding Raptor, it just turns into a 3/3 right away. While Marauding Raptor would get 2 triggers. So, you know, for 1 red, you could give your Marauding Raptor +4/+0 and get a 3/3 Dino. I mean, that's a good value if you have that in play. On the draw, I definitely feel disadvantaged. But we will see here. All right, game 3, our final game of this week's Droppin Bomb, bringing historic to Droppin Bombs. It's been fun so far. I definitely think I'm going to continue my exploration of this. We're going to keep. This is good. We have our 1 of Embercleave. Why leave it anymore when you draw your 1 of Legendary Artifact? Come on, Galta with a cleave. Galta with a cleave. 1 time. All right. Land light, so we are going to be pretty reliant on these Huntmaster and Marauding Raptors. Oh yeah, that card's here, huh? Alright. Alright, let's start with the Huntmaster. That was a great draw. Next turn we can go Marauding Raptor plus Ripjaw. Don't kill that. No! I hate to see it highlighted. Hate to see it. Okay, Marauding Raptor is still a great play. Now we could go Regisaur Alpha or Ripjaw next turn. And at least if they kill this, we do still have a play next turn. Ripjaw Raptor against Gruul is just good. Just good, even if it doesn't work well with the other cards. Okay. I mean... I think we go Regisaur Alpha this turn and then Ripjaw plus Galta next turn. Alright, so I don't want to trade this for Bone Crusher. Do I want to trade this for Burning Tree? Not really. But I don't want to get Embercleaved. I mean, if they Embercleave me, I guess maybe I just win. Yeah, we're just going to go no attacks to make sure we get Galta. And we can actually just Galta plus Embercleave next turn. Oh my god, we have to go for that. Dang it. No. I mean, we can just go Ripjaw plus Galta, right? I mean, that's just... No way that's not a good play right now, so... Let's do that. Nope. Ripjaw. Galta. We want to attack with a 6-3. I mean, we don't need this as much now. Trading this for Bone Crusher now seems reasonable to me. Just to lower the amount of effect their Embercleave would have. I mean, we do have Galta. Yeah, you can't beat Galta when you're playing creatures decks. And holy crap, did we just prove that now? All right, that's the 3-0 with Jund Dinos and Historic. Let's head over to the deck tech and talk about why I chose to play some specific cards, why I chose not to play others. We'll see you over there. All right, and welcome to the deck tech, fellow Droppin Baums fans. Okay, so, Jund Dinos. You know, I mean, this deck felt really nice. We played against a Bant Nexus deck, Is It Breach, and then Gruul Aggro there at the end. We got all 3 matches, so that was really nice. I think one takeaway is Historic seems very wide open right now, and people are playing a ton of different things. Some of these decks are preying on some of the slower decks like Golos, some of these, you know, maybe Dread Presence, Dryad of Elysian Groves deck. Some of the decks that are really taking a lot of setup. Decks like Breach and Bant Nexus really crush them, but Jund Dinos is a deck that is not slow. I mean, this is a deck that can kill on turn 4, turn 5 consistently, and it really forces these decks to be able to have early game interaction for either Ojotep's Huntmaster, Marauding Raptor, or Drover of the Mighty. And decks that don't, I mean, we saw what happened round 1 and 2. It was just an absolute beating. We were able to pressure them before they got set up, and then they had to, you know, maybe fog, in the case of the Bant Nexus tournament, a turn earlier than they would like. The Breach deck had to be going for it, chump blocking with their key pieces. And then Gruul, you know, a deck that had a lot of removal for our 2-drops, you know, almost got us. We had quite a bad hand, quite the questionable hand game 1 there, but we were able to turn it around with just smooth draws, and then just Galta is just unbeatable in these creature mirrors. So this deck has a little bit of everything. I think one change I would make so far is adding another Agonizing Remorse or 2, maybe even a total of 4. Like, I think that is just a really good card. I think 3 is probably good. I would probably go up to 3 of that and cut like a Shifting Ceratops probably. I think that would be the only change I would make from this list. I like the one-ofs in the form of Domri's Ambush and Domri Archon of Bolas, as well as Galta, Embercleave, all the stuff that goes over the top. I like these additions, and maybe something that I haven't been seeing from a lot of the other historic Jund Dino list. I didn't see many Galtas, which I thought was crazy because that card is just unbelievably powerful in any creature matchup, and it can just win out of nowhere thanks to Ojotep's Huntmaster just giving it haste. So let's talk about the specific cards here. We got 4 Commune. I think this is essential. You really need to not only fix your mana base, because our mana base is okay, it's not great, but also be able to find Marauding Raptor, or just find some of the late game bombs like Regisaur Alpha or Galta late in the game. So it's good early and it's good late. And then the core of the deck is Marauding Raptor, Ojotep Huntmaster, and Drover of the Mighty. If you don't have a hand with one of these in it, and you know, if you mold to 5, whatever, you know, you kind of have to keep it, but if you're at 7 or 6 cards without one of these cards, ship it back. This deck, you can kind of assume it is a creature combo deck. You really just need one of those to be able to accelerate your gameplay. Otherwise, you're just a slow mid-range deck. And playing like Rotting Regisaur and then just saying go, discarding a card, and then them having time to answer it is not really as good as them just, oh, surprise, take 7. So you really want to focus on having one of those. Domri's Ambush and Domri Archon of Bolas. I did the split because I don't want to ever draw 2 Domri's Anarch of Bolas. And then Domri's Ambush is just okay. You know, if we're playing a deck that has a lot of removal, our ambush effects and our Savage Stomp effects are not very good. But if you're playing against a creature deck that is trying to jam haymakers like against Gruul, being able to play like Rotting Regisaur and then Savage Stomp or Domri's Ambush or something is excellent. Rotting Regisaur is the only reason to play black. 3 mana 7/6. Sometimes you can make it a 2 mana 7/6. Sometimes even a 1 mana 7/6. I've had plenty of turns where I just go like Huntmaster on 2, Marauding Raptor on 3 into double Rotting Regisaur, and it's like, okay, I just added like, you know, 18 power to the board on turn 3. It's just absolutely disgusting. Then we got Rampaging Feroctodon, a dinosaur that was once banned really for no reason, in my opinion, but hey, it's still a banned card. The thing that I love about it is against these Golos decks, which we didn't end up playing against, but against them when they go like Hydroid Krasis, Uro, try to gain a bunch of life on us, Frostodon shuts that down, as well as whenever they add a bunch of zombies to the battlefield, ping, 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 ping. So I expected to play against a lot of Field of the Dead decks, so I wanted to main deck 3 of those. Didn't play against them, so the card was pretty medium outside of that. But a replacement for that is like main deck Shifting Ceratops, which is fine. But I think Frostodon for the applications I just mentioned is good. Ripjaw Raptor is excellent in any creature matchup. It also combos quite well with Marauding Raptor. Being able to immediately deal it damage, draw a card, refuel so you can have a good follow-up the next turn is great. Wouldn't go down on that card. That card's just great. Same with Regisaur Alpha. You play 4. I'd probably play 6 if I could. Being able to put 7 power into play and at a discounted rate when we have Huntmaster and Marauding Raptor, as well as another way to give Galta haste or any of your dinos haste. So now we have Huntmaster plus Regisaur Alpha to be able to just say, hey, I got a shiny dino to the face. It's very good. Embercleave, strapping it on any of our dinos is insane, but especially Rotting Regisaur or Galta, which we almost got to do in our 3rd round, which was so cool, but didn't quite get to do it. We got to win anyways the same turn, but still. And then 2 Galta. It's legendary, it's giant, hard to cast if they're killing a lot of your creatures, so you don't really want to go more than 2. I could see maybe switching the Galta Embercleave numbers. I think it's debatable. I don't know exactly what's correct on that, so maybe preference-wise, you might want to switch that. If you expect more aggro, Galta's better. If you expect more control, I think Embercleave is better. So, all right, and then the mana base. I like the mana base. Originally got this mana base from Jeff Hooglin. He streamed Gen Dinos in Historic earlier in March. I didn't see a reason to switch the mana base. I could see, switching around like a Cemetery to a Summit, if we can get Frank Karsten to come and crunch the numbers for us, but overall, I've really liked it. So I wouldn't change the main moving forward. And then sideboard, we got 2 Agonizing Remorse, which I would like to up to 3. I felt like in our matchups against like Nexus and Breach, we didn't have enough things to bring in, but maybe that is just because our matchup's so good, we're not really supposed to care about it. So maybe it's fine, but I think I'd still would want a 3rd. 2 Noxious Grass for any kind of ramp deck. Uros, also White Weenie. I mean, Historic's wide open, so I like a card like this that's really powerful in certain matchups, but it's very open to interpretation for whatever our opponents are going to play. Great sideboard card. Raptor Hatchlings for mono red. Raptor Hatchling and Flame Sweep are both for mono red. I figured that would be kind of a bad matchup because they can kill our 2-drops pretty easily, as well as just go over the top of us. Now, we do have Ripjaw Raptor, which is just an all-star against red, as well as just, even Rotting Regisaur, just giant creatures they can't deal with. So if we're on the play and they don't kill our 2-drop, we usually win the game, but that's basically every matchup, so. Savage Stomp for any slower-ish aggressive deck. So we brought in against Gruul. Anything that would be a little slower, you bring it in the mirror. And then Shifting Ceratops. We played Mono Blue on Versus Live from Historic last week, and the deck looked insane. So I really think that you want to have some answers to Mono Blue or any kind of control deck that we have. Shifting Ceratop is just the perfect card for that. But like I said, I would like to go down to 3, play 1 more Agonizing Remorse. I haven't played against Mono Blue yet online, but Ross Merriam is bound to jump in the queues eventually and sleeve up Mono Blue tempo. So, all right, everybody, that does it for Historic Gen Dinos. I think this deck is the real deal. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on Droppin Baums. Later.